today we will be finishing the selection, and maybe we will be assembling the code and putting all functions together, and maybe we would be making a graph of how much the best and the lowest performers of each generations wins. Okay, now that we have started, this is the offspring rates which we have made. So let's go. Before that, we need to make a class array. So let's make a class array. Here, tap class array. Okay, this class of array will simply hold data for us. So define make array. So then what that would be is that will be simply adding an array. So define make will be that, and simply a array base that would be, and then we would be simply returning this. Then define add. Now what would be we be adding? We would be adding item, which would be, we will be adding item and container. Now container dot container should be dist. So if container is not addict, then value. Now container dot append, what would be appending is our item. That is it. That is our whole. We add and we do that. This here has to come here, and okay. Now here we need to define mates finder, or basically any dating app. This is that which we are doing. So what this does is that this simply goes and tries to look for mates based on what we did. It should be those two. If they should be, there's a law. There should be at most two tier difference between them. So what do we want to do is the DNA or gene that we are going to find one for. Then we are going to have a list, and that is that. And for the list, we also need the tier of the list. So basically, tier list. A gene list and a tier list. Now, first we need to delete our gene. So here we need a check for I. Let's do something else. Let's simply give out a list. So we only need a gene list and a tier list. Now, for I in list, for I in range, when gene list, we would be checking for that. So let's also have a check, and that check would be start to 0. Now there is no difference in the output that we go from the top and go calm down, and calm down until we find a mate which is suitable, that agrees. So what we should do is that we simply try to do the one with the highest tier within the 2-tier range that we have. So check 0 and tier range that will be 2. That goes -1, -1 if it can find in that. So for I in range list, we would be looking for I in range or a while mates founded is equal to false. True. While this is false, what we do is that we try to check for ones in a specific way. So tier range 2. So what we are doing is that the current one will be client's gene will be what gene are we looking for. So simply gene list check client gene and client tier. Now, while mate founded is false, we are going to simply loop. So that checks the one at last or at first. So we would add if check is okay, check and check client, those both would be 0 and 0. Check client and check client. If check is equal to check client, check is equal to check plus 1. That's a lot of checks. Now, while mate founded is equal to false, if that is that, so it tries to look for one, so it looks the first one. If check client, okay, it's if client tier plus tier range is more than, yes, if it is, this will be if this minus our current check tier check tier list check. What are we going to do? So let's head over to Paint and do the math. Okay, you will see this. Here we have 3 things that are going to happen. Either that is in a certain range. So what is the certain range? Let's say we have our tier 5 gene. This plus its range of 2 will be 7, and 5 minus 2 will be 3. So our genome, our tier, which we are going to call our possible mate. So let's say C minus PM possible mates must be between these two. So let me head over to coding now. So here if this is if it's smaller or equal, smaller or equal smaller, if it's smaller or equal that, no, bigger, if it's bigger or equal, okay, if it's equal or let me okay, if it is or bigger. Now this will be in parentheses or a lot of ors. This would be minus. If minus equal to tier list, check. Or it is bigger, then we would do what? We have an array that we have that will be, we are going to return something. So array, no, generation array is equal to a list, a base of a list, just like we talked about, and then if client, okay, we will have that. So let's simply check so gene list and no gene list. Okay, here if gene list is equal to that, so check clients and gene list check we will be adding to our list. Okay, why is this here? This should be upper, because whenever we are looping, okay, no, dot append. Okay, so generate dot append this, and then what we would do is to set that to true. Mates founded is equal to true. What will happen is that it gets out of this, and then what we have to do is to update them. So here we need to first delete the ones from that. That will be genlist.pop. Okay, I have to do something. Okay, I did some research on something that I almost never use. So pop at an index of, well, check, and then we are going to here check clients and check clients. That would be .pop, and here we will be having a tier list. Okay, tier list, tier range list dot pop, and that is simply it. Here, then what happens is that the other thing that we are going to check comes at the index of 1. That comes at that index. Therefore, we do not want to have that. So we are going to have our check clients. That would be always 0, so we are not. But check is going to go up. Then while that goes true, here this comes true, and tap. If our check is now equal to the length of our gene list, then we are going to simply delete that and say, and we are going to simply, that person's is an okay, so when gene list, that would be gene list dot pop, and check clients. Here this would be it, and we would be simply deleting it from our tier list too. So tier list that is almost it. everything is used. Okay. We have appended that. Now let's just simply make this a little more readable. Blocks of code. And this, we will break the operation. Break. And it will be simply gone. It's sad when you think about it. Okay, any way that comes, this should work. Let's test this. Now we need a gene list and a tier list. What we are going to do is that okay, that's this. Okay, so let's run this. The tiers are simply what we need. That is the tier. Okay, so here we can put straight gibberish in here. It doesn't have to be very there. So for I in range gene list, let's okay, a selection dot make finder and this will be 1 1 2 3 4, and here we will be putting the a tier 10, a tier 9, and a 1. Okay, and we will be returning return okay. When this goes out, it has to be made founded false. That will be equal to false. Okay, then when that okay, it should work, and return the gen array. Okay, and we will be printing it, and let's debug. Okay, list object that it cannot be as you saw, we were not able to finish the project, and the reason that I am ending this video is very fast is that my phone is running out of space.